My morning walk. I remember when I first moved here, I used to try to walk the pier every morning. It was like I don't know, little reset every morning. And slowly but surely, you're like, nah, I don't need to do it. You forget the little things that you do to reset yourself, you know? One thing I like is when you're getting up in the morning, when you get up this early in the morning, you end up seeing, businesses obviously closed from the night before, but I like seeing them start opening up, putting their things out, What time is it? I think it's only 7 a.m. right now, so nothing's open yet. Should check the temperature so I can let you know the temperature, but I don't know. Low 60s, probably 62 degrees, something like that. Friday morning. Place probably be a lot busier tonight. And one thing I noticed is normally there's fences all along here, but today there wasn't. Down by the volleyball courts, there wasn't any fences either. I don't know if we're a little bit off of a lower danger tier on the COVID-19. Haven't been keeping up with it lately. Such a weird times. Walking Tank and Rambo. Good boys. Anywho. Yep, freaking weird times. Let me see, today is Friday, so I was out of town, got back Wednesday evening. I was in Philadelphia and then came back home. A lot of people talk about the jet lag and stuff like that. I don't really feel I don't feel it too much, but I mean, I feel that my body mostly just wakes up at around the same time. I was getting up, I guess, more of the West Coast early AM, but still early enough to do what I like to do, So I was thinking about like videos of people post online like this, and thinking about like the background or where so much. And I always think about that. Man, I'd like to post more videos and stuff, but I don't know of what. And I think about like, oh shit, I like to walk around and post videos and take videos of the shit I am seeing. Makes more sense to me. I'll try to speak loud enough so the audio catches everything I'm saying. I think it would for the most part. Ugh. The Santa Monica Pier. Interesting fact. May not seem like much, but this pier is as iconic as the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And I'm not saying that just because I'm here. I'd love to live right by the Eiffel Tower too. But let's look at the numbers. The Eiffel Tower gets about 7 million visitors every year. The Santa Monica Pier gets about 8 million visitors every year. The Eiffel Tower, well, I can't remember exact date. I'll come back to you with the exact date. I think the pier was started maybe, if I'm not mistaken, about 5 or 8 years later. So they're about the same age. They attract about the same amount of tourists. And if you think about, if you've been to the Eiffel Tower, the area around the Eiffel Tower is still residential. It's not like it's all just a big attraction. It's residential, has businesses, restaurants, banks, shops, everything, you know. The population in that district is right around the same amount of population here in Santa Monica. I think it's about, like, I don't know, between 50 and 60,000 people. So the residents are about the same amount of people. The big attraction was built around the same time, and Santa Monica Pier actually attracts 1 million more visitors every year. 1 million. About the same age, about the same amount of visitors. The residential area has the same amount of people living in it. I think my little pier is a little more historic. We gotta give it a little more appreciation. Not more historic than the Eiffel Tower. I'm just saying, when you're comparing landmarks. Check this out. This Friday morning, made a little list of what I got to get done. Not too much, actually. Time is almost the end of the month. Got to sit down and do some bill paying. One thing that sucks is, obviously, before COVID-19, I had like all my bills on automatic. Boom, 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 boom. I never thought about paying a bill. But when COVID-19 hit, because I do travel stuff like Airbnb, like that went up and down. Some months we didn't have any guests or we didn't want any guests. Some months we were booked. So the cash flow has gone up and down. So it made me have to get back in there and be like, all right, what's due this month? All right, you know, maybe there's not enough cash flow from the Airbnb, so it's got to come out of pocket. So I haven't had my bills on automatic payment like I'd like to have. But that's what I was thinking about right now. It's something on my list I got to get done today. A little bit of bill paying. Want to make sure I walking to the pier and back to my house is, I think, about right around 3 miles. So I like to make sure I do that. I'm gonna try to bike today. Sorry about that. Try to bike starting from about that point over there and ending where the beach ends. I think it's about 5 miles. So do that, go back and forth with that. That will be 10 miles. That will be the goal today. Walk 3 to 5 miles. Bike 10 miles. Ooh. Finishing off the pier walk right now. What else I gotta do today? Had a ton of emails I had to get back to. Got some paperwork I gotta fill out. What else? Not too much. Today's a pretty chill Friday. Mr. Tank for a little bit. He has a Hawaiian shirt on. Imagine. How's it going? Boom, boom, boom. The dogs like going here, but I don't trust them down there because they try to eat like the fish and discarded parts that the fishermen throw. So I gotta try to keep them up here. But one of the reasons I like coming out to the pier is, check it out, look how far you are away from the land. I got stuck there, I'm sorry. Anywho, you're this as far west as you can get. Obviously, I think, sorry, you know what? Island is over there too. So I guess you could go a little further. But by foot, this is as far west as you could go. West Coast, motherfucker, West Coast. No, I'm joking. But, yeah. That's what I like about coming over here. Look at that. Far into the water you are. What are they doing over there? They're repairing the fence. You know what I always think is crazy? Those the spark things. If you stare at it, you could go blind. That's crazy. That's something I've always wanted to learn, welding. That looks super cool. Trying to melt some metals together. This homeless guy. That's about it, I guess. That was the pier. You're welcome. What? These are the rules. No alcohol, no smoking, unauthorized vending, no jumping off from the pier. Where did you jump off? You're only allowed to fish. I don't even think the scooters work down here anymore. I think the GPS cuts them off. I want to get a scooter, but just for me, you know, not when you gotta rent. Oh, that's something I gotta freaking do. You know, when I was in Philadelphia, I rented a car on Turo. This is not a commercial for Turo. But it's a pretty cool app, obviously. You know, if you haven't used it, kind of works a little bit like Airbnb. You check it out. You go on there, you say what kind of car you want to rent. Actually, you don't say what kind of car you want. You put what dates are you're trying to rent, and it shows you what's available. So we rented a little one of the small SUVs. This is a newer one. The Hyundai. Can't remember the SUV. I forgot what it was. I sure know since it was in a car accident. But really annoying. I was leaving in the morning to go get some bagels, and I'm in Fishtown in Philadelphia, right? So I'm on Front Street making a right onto Girard. And luckily for me, the street I was on is actually a train station for, the normal city train. So I'm standing there about to make a right, but this lady starts crossing last minute. So obviously you kind of go and stop. The dude behind me goes, and he was going straight. So he clips the corner of my car, the rental car, and I make a right and pull over. This dude then pulls up. Luckily he made a right turn, pulls behind me, gets out the car, and he yells at me in Spanish, "Why'd you stop?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Man, fuck you, dude, get back the fuck up," you know. And he just starts looking at the car because he hit the car kind of bad, and he's just staring at it, kind of nodding out and saying no. And I don't know, I smelled something kind of fishy, so I grabbed my phone right away. Mind you, was at like 1 or 2%, honestly, my phone. So I snap a picture of him. I took a picture of the door because he was driving like a work truck, and then I took a picture of his license plates. And then I told him, you know what, give me your documents, give me your insurance, give me your driver's license. And he goes, no. And he gets in the car and turns on the car. And I go, what the fuck? So I opened the passenger door and I go, what are you doing? No, no, no. And so my thought was, I mean, I just jumped in the moment. I really shouldn't have opened someone's freaking car. You don't know they have a gun or something. So I opened the door. My thought was open the glove box and just grab the documents. And if he's taken off, not have all the documents. But I don't know. Once I opened the door, I didn't really think about that because there's so many like work tools. So I grabbed the freaking handsaw. And I was like, man, I'm taking this. And he just took off. But like I said, this happened right at the train station. So there, the Philadelphia Transit Police was on right there on the corner. So they just walked over and they said, hey man, we saw everything that happened. We saw, did you get his information? I go, no, he took off. He goes, oh, okay. We saw the accident, you know, so we came over to check everything out. So I had to give him my license, the car rental stuff, and oh man, then it turned into a clusterfuck. Honestly, it is not a commercial for Turo because motherfucking Turo, I found out that if you pick the insurance, you know, their normal basic insurance, the deductible is $3,000. So to start a claim, you have to pay Turo $3,000, and then the insurance they use, which is Liberty Insurance, charges a $500 like starting fee, which they give you back. So to start fixing the car, it would be $3,500, and then it goes to one of their shops, and they try to get the most money out of it and keep most of your $3,500. So the guy told me, you know what, it's better if we go directly or use your insurance. But mind you, at this time, it is a hit and run because the guy, he got out the car and then took off, you know, but at least I got a picture of the license plate. So later that day, we were trying to do something different. I think this is now Monday. So we drove to Atlantic City just to go check it out, take a look at the casinos, the pier. It was very cool. So one of the thoughts I had, you know what, I'm gonna call the number on the truck because it's a work truck, right? So I called the number, and this guy lives in New Jersey, and he goes, hey, and he keeps hanging up on me. So I call and I go, hey man, I'm calling with the cops, so you better not hang up. So I go, what's going on? So talk to him. He says that those magnets that go on the side of the truck were stolen off of his truck, and he hasn't seen those magnets like in a year and a half. He goes, I had to get new magnets. He says, where'd you see this truck? So I told him I was in Philly. I go, well, look, man, this truck hit me, blah, blah, blah. Go through the stuff. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man, but, you know, it's not my truck. You know, they just stole the magnets. So long story short, we don't know anything. So now, obviously, I got to return the car, start talking to the guy. The guy's very, very cool about it, you know. But I think there's like 2 or 3 of these cars he puts on Turo, just makes extra side money. He said, you know, I've gone through something like this before. So he goes, well, you know, we'll take care of it. Option A, obviously, is the guy that hit you. We're going to use his insurance. Option B is using the Turo insurance. And option C is, you know, using your insurance. And even option D is, you know, paying it out of pocket. So, you know, option A is with Turo. Now we're at $500. No, option A was this dude that took off. So luckily the guy that rented me the car, he has a buddy in the Philadelphia Police Department. So he's like, all right, man, I'll help you, you know, try to get you the police report faster and everything. So they end up getting the police report. Because it was transferred from Transit Police to Philadelphia Police, you know, there was some miscommunication in the police report, so they had to finish off the police report. Then they come to find out, once finishing off the police report, the license plates on the truck that I took a picture of were stolen. Those are stolen off some other truck. So the magnet and the license plates were stolen. The guy probably doesn't even have a driver's license. And so now we're stuck at this guy hit me. He then took off. I took his Sawzall. Sorry, gotta fix tanks. So happens when you have a dumb dog. So this guy hit me. He takes off. Turns out he doesn't have a real license plates on his car. the business on the side of his truck isn't even his business. And the guy looked kind of sketchy. I'm not gonna lie, he looked kind of. So that's where we're at. So I called the guy that has the Hyundai, the one that lent me the car via Turo, and he said, look man, I'm already trying to get it fixed because obviously this is my little side hustle. I don't want the car just sitting, so I'm gonna try to get it fixed. I go, okay, sounds good. He told me, you know, right now it's looking between $600 and $900 to get it fixed. But he goes, so I don't know, obviously Turo is not a good option because through their Liberty insurance you have to pay $3,500. Then they're gonna try to get the car fixed. What if they get it fixed for $2,500? You know, you're better off here, maximum maybe $900. Like, all right, sounds good. He goes, or if you want your insurance to pay for it, but my deductible is $1,000 because I figured anything up under $1,000 I should be able to handle it myself, you know, if something happened to my car. So that's where we're at now. Might have to pay $900 out of pocket for this dude that hit me from behind, that took off, had a truck that had stolen plates and a stolen magnet. Then when I'm talking to the Turo guy, he's like, yeah man, that's typical North Philadelphia shit. And I was like, that's freaking crazy. Then I remembered, shit man, I'm from LA, people do that shit all the time here. That's something I need to do today. Anywho, let's finish off this walk and get the day started.